Yeah. So before we get into the organization, because you had to
Mm.
come up with that name somewhere, so tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about your background and past, and what brought you to start your group.
Yeah, sure thing. So it's been an interesting ride. I think with most people, life seems to have almost random events that seem random at the time, and it's only when you stand back and look that you realize it's created quite an obvious picture for you. But I from a very young age, I had sights to do nothing other than sport. I'd signed by professional academies. I was playing for some great sides in the UK. Then I didn't get my professional contract at 16, and I moved out to Hungary, and I was playing and coaching there, and thought, okay, I'm on my way back up again, and then injury ruled me out. That was it. Game over. I kept fracturing my shin bone. My shin bone essentially has the consistency of sort of dried spaghetti.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I can't do very much with it.
What sport were you playing?
Football, soccer for you.
Soccer. Okay. Isaac, our producer, who's helping us do the show today, he's a big soccer guy. So
Awesome, Isaac. We should catch up at some point then, dude, and have that conversation. But I'd left the world of sport, and I had to sort of settle on a new career, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like, I was going to play, and then I was going to manage, and when I couldn't do that anymore, I was going to be a pundit. So my whole life was going to be sport, and then suddenly here I was in my early 20s going, okay, now what? I've got to stop living that dream now and focus. So I actually went and did a surveying degree, commercial real estate surveying. And during the time I was working and getting my degree, I started getting involved in podcasts. So podcasts had just started to become a thing for sort of like an alternative fan commentary sort of thing. So instead of just hearing the polished pundits on the TV who were all scripted, it was listening to fans roaring about their team, and it was just real, and people enjoyed it. And
saying all the things that you wish the pundit would say sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The stuff that they wouldn't be allowed back on air the next week if they actually said.
Right.
So I was kind of in a unique position at the time because I was most definitely a fan, and I was the age of most of the people creating the content, if not a little on the younger side. However, I'd also just spent the last 6-7 years in professional sport. I knew a lot of these people. I know what behind the scenes look like and how the academy looks. And you got to remember, this is before a lot of the content that the club started to create with all the behind the scenes footage. So people's best attempt of understanding what was going on behind the scenes at Liverpool was to stand on a bin at Melwood and watch over the fence as the players trained. Like that was as close as you got. So it blew up, and we found out how to monetize it quite quickly because I was thinking, well, we've got an audience, we have a demographic, we know who they are, we know what their interests are, then people are interested in advertising to these people, and it grew from there. So I grew my professional services businesses. I left the corporate world, worked for some of the biggest and best real estate and construction companies globally, which was amazing. Got to board level by mid-20s, which was just ridiculous. Loved it. And then I got married and decided that I didn't want to be stuck to an office anymore. I wanted to be able to travel and be where we wanted to be. And we still do that to this day. We're in the UK half the year and in South Africa the other half of the year. I love that. So that's really where the business came from. Now, let me tell you this, because everybody always asks this, and I know you were going there. The name, I wish I had much answer for where the name came from. But the honest answer was our podcast, our business podcast, had been picked up by a radio station, but they already had a name. So after we'd done a couple of seasons of this and it was working really well, we got picked up by our first TV network who said, we need you to come and do this on the TV, do the interviews. And we're really excited, right? Really excited. But they said, you need a name for the show. And everything I suggested, they hated. Like it wasn't even like it was a gentle no. It was like, we're just going to like bin that one straight away. No. So I started getting a bit silly with it. And I was like, okay, well, how about billionaires in boxes? Because we're growing football from home. I really put on pants. And it was like, okay, let's go with that one.
So they went.
People really
you thought was going to be the craziest, but sometimes that's how.
Joking. Yeah, I was joking. In fact, for several weeks, I was kind of like, "Are we really going to put it out under this name?" But people started to recognize me as the Billionaires in Boxers guy. It got a bit of swagger to it. I think people like the name because everyone kind of has their own opinions of what that means to them, and I think that's quite powerful in a brand. I don't think I've ever had that before. So yeah, it's fun. It's very enjoyable. I love what we do.